When your desires are strong enough, you will appear to possess superhuman powers to achieve. Napoleon Hill, let that truth sink in. Because this isn't just motivational fluff, this is a weapon, a fire, a force of nature. When your desires burn hot enough, no obstacle is too great, no excuse loud enough, no failure final. History doesn't remember the passive. It remembers the obsessed, the seekers, the warriors, the healers, those who refuse to let desire die quietly. In every ancient tale, the hero's strength was never just physical. It came from a fire inside that refused to be extinguished. The seeker didn't just wander. He hunted destiny, clawing through darkness with nothing but raw hunger for truth. The warrior didn't wait for perfect odds. He charged, driven by a desire that turned fear into fuel. And the healer? She didn't just patch wounds. She summoned light through focused passion, transforming pain into purpose. This is the energy you were born with. But here's the problem. Most people don't lack dreams. They lack the desire that devours distractions and drives relentless action. You say you want success, but do you want it enough to wake up early? To risk failure? To rise after being broken? Because if your desire is just a flicker, life's winds will blow it out. But if it's a wildfire, nothing can stop you. You already know what you want. Now the question is, do you want it bad enough to become unstoppable? Consider the artist who sketches masterpieces in their mind but never picks up the brush, trapped by self-doubt and fleeting inspirations. This is the common struggle. Weak desires breed mediocrity, where potential gathers dust, and life feels like a series of missed opportunities. But here's the truth that can change everything. Cultivating strong desires isn't just helpful. It's the key that unlocks superhuman abilities within you. When your desires blaze like a wildfire, they ignite a force that overrides fear, fuels focus, and transforms you into an unstoppable force of nature. Think of it as awakening the seeker within, where every obstacle becomes a path to discovery, and every setback a lesson in resilience. The need for this change is urgent because without it, you'll remain in the realm of what ifs, never experiencing the thrill of true achievement. So, let's embrace the warrior's courage and vow to stoke that inner fire, turning vague wishes into powerful, actionable realities. Now, why aren't you taking action right now? It's often because you're waiting for motivation to strike, like lightning from the sky. This misconception traps so many, believing that external sparks, like a motivational video, must come first before you move. But as Napoleon Hill teaches, strong desires make motivation obsolete. They compel you to act as if you're infused with superhuman willpower. When desires are weak, you chase fleeting feelings, only to find yourself back at square one, exhausted and unfulfilled. Failure to decide stems from this slack, turning clear ideas into murky uncertainties that paralyze your progress. Look at Thomas Edison, whose burning desire for innovation kept him experimenting through thousands of failures, embodying that superhuman persistence. Without intense desire, decisions linger in limbo, opportunities slip away, and you remain a spectator in your own life. Fear and uncertainty thrive in this void, magnifying every risk until it feels insurmountable, like shadows engulfing the warrior's path. Yet, when desires surge, these fears shrink as athletes channeling their passions push through limits to achieve the extraordinary. Entrepreneurs face rejection after rejection, but their unquenchable drive turns doubt into fuel, revealing hidden strengths. So, break free from this cycle. Let your desires rise like the seeker scaling a mountain, conquering the unknown with steady resolve. The solution lies in immediate action, where strong desires create a momentum that unleashes your superhuman powers. As Hill's philosophy shows, when your desires are vivid and intense, even the smallest step generates energy, turning hesitation into progress. Imagine an inventor prototyping a flawed idea, driven by passion, only to refine it into something revolutionary through sheer force of will. Building decisiveness starts with firm decisions, made quickly and with emotional intensity, mimicking the focus of superhuman achievers. Visualize your end goal not as a distant dream, but as a vivid reality that pulls you forward, bridging the gap between desire and action. Don't let doubt delay you. Let your desires act as the warrior's sword, cutting through indecision with precision and purpose. Practicing the first step is crucial. Take it now, no matter how small, to simulate that superhuman capability and spark a chain reaction. For instance, if your goal is to learn a new skill, start by researching it today. That single act can ignite a fire that propels you further. Remember, strong desires make the first step effortless, turning what seems impossible into a natural extension of your being. Overcoming hesitation and fear begins when your desires erode those barriers, activating a mindset where action feels instinctive. Drawing from Hill's examples, self-made millionaires face setbacks but prevail through unwavering desire, confronting fears head-on. Picture pitching a business idea despite the risk of rejection. That superhuman push weakens fear's grip faster than endless overthinking. Learning through failure becomes a gift when desires are powerful, transforming defeats into stepping stones of resilience. As the healer turns wounds into wisdom, you too can reframe failures as feedback, building mental toughness to pursue your goals relentlessly. Don't shy away from challenges. Let your desires shield you, turning each obstacle into a forge that strengthens your resolve. Cultivating self-discipline emerges naturally from strong desires, serving as the engine for superhuman achievements beyond temporary motivation. Hill's principles remind us that desires must be nurtured daily, turning routine tasks into habits that drive long-term success. Think of discipline as the warrior's training regimen, consistent and deliberate. It builds a cycle of progress that feels almost effortless. Building positive habits starts with simple rituals, like dedicating early mornings to goal setting, aligning with your deepest passions. These habits compound over time, creating a superhuman rhythm where daily wins reinforce your desires and propel you forward. Track your progress, celebrate small victories, and watch as discipline becomes not a chore, but a joyful expression of your inner fire. Developing a clear vision and goals is where strong desires truly shine, directing your actions and sustaining superhuman efforts. As Hill emphasized, definite purposes backed by emotion turn goals into magnetic forces that pull you through challenges. When your desires are emotionally charged, goals become alive, guiding you like the seeker's compass toward uncharted horizons. Practical methods include creating a desire map, a visual plan that captures why your goal matters, making it impossible to ignore. Break goals into actionable steps, define them specifically, measure your progress, and let your desires fuel the journey. For example, if you aim for career advancement, outline the skills needed and schedule daily practice, turning ambition into reality. This process fosters a sense of invincibility, where obstacles fade and success feels within reach, all because your desires are that strong. In conclusion, Napoleon Hill's principle holds true. When your desires are intense enough, they precede and enable superhuman powers. Action follows desire, not the other way around, turning ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers who make the impossible ordinary. Reaffirm this today. Let your desires ignite, unlocking abilities you never knew you had. and watch obstacles melt away. Now, it's your turn. Take one immediate step toward your goals, like committing to a 5-minute daily practice, and feel that fire grow. Harness your desires now and step into the roles of the seeker, the warrior, and the healer within you. Start small, but start with fire, and witness the superhuman transformation that awaits. In the words of Napoleon Hill, when your desires burn with an unquenchable fire, you summon forces that make the impossible seem ordinary. This timeless wisdom reveals that many people struggle with weak desires, leading to endless procrastination and hesitation. Picture someone dreaming of a thriving career, yet they remain glued to their couch, distracted by trivial pursuits. Their desires lack the intensity to break through mental barriers, trapping them in a cycle of unfulfilled potential. Without that burning drive, even the simplest steps feel overwhelming, as if an invisible force holds them back. But here's the truth. Cultivating strong desires isn't just helpful, it's the key to unlocking superhuman powers within you. When your desires are vivid and intense, they ignite a spark that transforms hesitation into immediate action. Think of it as tapping into a hidden reservoir of energy where obstacles shrink and possibilities expand. This is why change is essential. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment, but about fueling your desires to create it. Strong desires make you unstoppable, turning ordinary days into opportunities for extraordinary achievements. Now, let's explore why you're not taking action, starting with the myth of waiting for motivation. Many believe that motivation must strike like lightning before they move, but this stems from desires that are too faint to compel. You might watch a motivational video and feel inspired for a moment, yet that feeling fades quickly without a strong foundation. In contrast, when desires are powerful, motivation becomes irrelevant. You act because your inner fire demands it. It's like possessing superhuman willpower, where every decision flows naturally from your core. Take Thomas Edison, whose burning desire for innovation kept him experimenting through thousands of failures. He didn't wait for motivation. His desires propelled him forward, making him appear superhuman in his persistence. Failure to decide often paralyzes people when their desires aren't intense enough, leaving goals vague and uncommitted. You know what you want, but without that fiery passion, decisions linger in limbo, costing you precious time. Strong desires eliminate this paralysis, as Hill taught, turning hesitation into bold, decisive moves. Fear and uncertainty thrive when desires are weak, amplifying doubts and making risks seem insurmountable. But with superhuman desires, these fears diminish, as seen in entrepreneurs who charge into the unknown with unyielding faith. Imagine an athlete facing a major competition. Their intense desire overrides anxiety, unlocking peak performance. So, the solution lies in immediate action, powered by desires that feel almost magical in their strength. When you act right away, even on a small idea, it builds momentum and reveals hidden powers within you. Drawing from Hill's philosophy, vivid desires turn the smallest steps into catalysts for massive progress. For instance, an inventor might sketch a flawed prototype, but that action sparks innovation and leads to breakthroughs. Building decisiveness starts with strengthening your desires, making decisions quick and firm like a superhuman reflex. Visualize your goal with emotional intensity, feel the success, taste the victory, and watch doubts evaporate. Practicing the first step is crucial. Take one action now, no matter how minor, to simulate that superhuman drive. For example, if your desire is to learn a new skill, spend 5 minutes researching it today and feel the energy surge. Overcoming hesitation and fear begins when strong desires erode those barriers. creating an instinctive push forward. As Hill illustrated with self-made millionaires, they faced setbacks, but their desires turned fear into fuel. Pitching a business idea despite potential rejection becomes easier when your desires burn brightly. This superhuman mindset makes confronting fears a habit, weakening their grip with every bold move. Learning through failure is transformed when desires are powerful. What once felt defeating now becomes a valuable lesson. Hill's teachings show that intense desires grant resilience, turning each setback into a step toward mastery. Reframe failures as feedback. Ask yourself what you can learn and let your desires propel you onward. With this approach, you'll build mental toughness, making obstacles seem trivial in the face of your superhuman resolve. Cultivating self-discipline emerges naturally from strong desires, acting as the engine for lasting success. Rather than forcing discipline through willpower alone, let your desires nurture it daily, creating unbreakable habits. Hill emphasized that desires must be fed consistently, turning routine tasks into powerful rituals of progress. For instance, start your day with goal setting to align your actions with your intense desires. Building positive habits amplifies this. Commit to daily practices, like consistent exercise, and watch your superhuman potential grow. These habits compound over time, forming a cycle where discipline feeds your desires and vice versa. Track your daily wins to maintain momentum, reinforcing the fire that drives your achievements. Developing clear vision and goals is where strong desires truly shine, directing your efforts with laser focus. As Hill stressed, definite purposes, backed by emotional desires, act as magnetic forces, pulling you through challenges. When your goals are crystal clear and charged with passion, they sustain superhuman efforts day after day. To amplify this, create a desire map, a visual plan that includes why your goal matters deeply to you. Break your goals into specific, measurable steps. For example, if you desire financial freedom, outline monthly targets. This process fosters a sense of invincibility, where your desires make even daunting tasks feel achievable. Remember, strong desires precede action, as Hill taught, unlocking powers that make success inevitable. In conclusion, when your desires are intense enough, you tap into superhuman abilities that overcome any obstacle. Obstacles that once seemed massive now appear trivial, thanks to the force of your burning passion. Reaffirm this principle. Desires are the spark that ignites action, turning potential into reality. Now, it's your turn. Ignite your desires today by taking one immediate step toward your goal. Commit to a simple action, like writing down your top desire and planning the next move. Harness your desires now and watch as you unlock powers you never knew existed. Start small, but start with that unquenchable fire, and let your superhuman journey begin. Let me share a powerful truth from Napoleon Hill. When your desires burn with an unquenchable fire, you summon forces that make the impossible seem ordinary. In our daily lives, many people struggle with weak desires, leading to endless procrastination and hesitation. Picture someone dreaming of a better career, but staying stuck in their comfort zone, distracted by trivial things. This lack of drive stems from desires that aren't strong enough to break through mental barriers. Without that intense fire, even the simplest steps feel overwhelming, trapping you in a cycle of mediocrity. But here's the key. Cultivating a burning desire changes everything, igniting a superhuman state within you. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about letting your desires fuel immediate, unstoppable action. Think of it as unlocking hidden reserves of energy and focus that turn potential into reality. When desires are vivid and powerful, obstacles shrink, and your capabilities expand beyond what you thought possible. So, if you're feeling stuck, remember, the need for change starts with amplifying your desires to superhuman levels. One major reason you're not taking action is the myth that motivation must come first. People often wait for an external spark, like a motivational video, but that's a trap fueled by weak desires. True progress comes when your inner drive is so strong that motivation becomes irrelevant. With burning desires, you act on instinct, as if possessed by superhuman willpower. Consider how fleeting feelings fade, but intense desires keep you moving forward relentlessly. Another barrier is failure to decide, which thrives when your goals lack emotional intensity. Indecisiveness leaves you paralyzed, even with a clear idea, because desires aren't strong enough to commit. Look at Thomas Edison, whose burning desire for innovation pushed him through thousands of failures. His superhuman persistence came from desires that refused to waver, turning setbacks into stepping stones. Without that fire, decisions remain vague, and opportunities slip away like sand through your fingers. Fear and uncertainty also hold you back when desires are dim, making risks feel insurmountable. But when your desires burn bright, fear diminishes, and you tap into a superhuman mindset of courage. Athletes who achieve the extraordinary do so by channeling their passions into fearless action. Entrepreneurs face rejection, but push on because their desires override anxiety and doubt. In that state, the unknown becomes exciting, not terrifying, propelling you toward your goals. Now, let's explore the solution: immediate action powered by strong desires. When your desires are intense, even the smallest action creates momentum, unleashing superhuman energies. Drawing from Hill's philosophy, vivid desires turn hesitation into a surge of clarity and purpose. Imagine an inventor starting with a flawed prototype, driven by desire to refine it into success. That first move generates energy, making the next steps feel effortless and inevitable. Building decisiveness is crucial. Strong desires help you make firm decisions quickly, like superhuman achievers. Visualize your end goal with emotional intensity, bridging the gap between desire and action. This practice eliminates doubt, ensuring your choices are bold and committed. Start by practicing the first step. Act on your desires right now, no matter how small. For example, if your goal is to learn a new skill, begin by researching it immediately. This simulates superhuman capabilities, turning intention into tangible progress. Overcoming hesitation and fear begins when strong desires erode those barriers naturally. In a superhuman mindset, action becomes instinctive, as seen in self-made millionaires who face setbacks head-on. They confronted fears, like pitching ideas despite potential rejection, because their desires wouldn't allow retreat. Each confrontation weakens fear's grip, making you more resilient with every step. Learning through failure is easier when desires are powerful. It transforms defeats into valuable lessons. Hill taught that intense desires grant superhuman resilience, turning failures into feedback for growth. Reframe your setbacks as opportunities, building mental toughness that propels you forward. With strong desires, you'll persist where others quit, emerging stronger each time. Cultivating self-discipline is the true key, emerging naturally from burning desires. It's not about forcing habits. Desires make discipline effortless, fueling superhuman achievements. Hill's principles show that nurturing desires daily sustains this discipline, turning routines into powerful engines. Build positive habits that align with your passions, like starting your day with goal-setting rituals. These habits compound over time, creating a superhuman cycle of progress and success. Track your daily wins to maintain momentum, reinforcing your desires and keeping discipline alive. Developing a clear vision and goals is essential, backed by strong desires for superhuman efforts. Hill emphasized definite purposes. When desires are emotionally charged, goals become magnetic forces. They pull you through challenges, directing your actions with laser-focused intensity. To amplify this, define specific, measurable goals and break them into actionable steps. Create a desire map, a visual plan with emotional triggers like why your goal matters deeply. This fosters a sense of invincibility, making progress feel superhuman and inevitable. Follow a step-by-step process. Set your goal, outline steps, and review daily to keep desires burning. In conclusion, remember Hill's principle. Strong desires precede superhuman powers, making action follow naturally. When your desires are intense enough, obstacles become trivial and success feels inevitable. So, ignite your desires today. Take that one immediate step, like committing to a daily practice, and watch your superhuman potential unfold. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, as Napoleon Hill profoundly stated, setting the stage for unlocking your inner superhuman potential. This isn't just a lofty idea. It's a call to ignite that unquenchable fire of desire within you. Imagine a world where your deepest wants propel you forward with unstoppable force, making obstacles fade like shadows. Yet, many people struggle with weak desires, leading to a life of procrastination and unfulfilled dreams. Picture someone yearning for a promotion but constantly distracted by social media, their ambition diluted by fleeting interests. This hesitation stems from desires that lack intensity, trapping you in a cycle of knowing what to do but never acting. Self-doubt creeps in, whispering that success is for others, not you, because your drive isn't strong enough to silence it. The result? A life of mediocrity, where potential gathers dust like an unused tool in a shed. But here's the truth. Cultivating strong desires isn't optional. It's the key to transforming your reality. When your desires burn fiercely, they awaken superhuman powers, granting you the energy to act decisively and persistently. No longer do you wait for the perfect moment. You create it through sheer willpower. Think of it as flipping a switch inside you, turning ordinary resolve into extraordinary achievement. Waiting for motivation is a trap that keeps you stagnant, especially when desires are weak and unreliable. You might watch a motivational video and feel inspired for a moment, but without strong desires, that spark fizzles out quickly. This reliance on external boosts dilutes your progress, leaving you chasing temporary highs instead of building lasting momentum. In contrast, when desires are intense, motivation becomes irrelevant. You act because your core compels you, like a force of nature. It's as if you possess superhuman willpower, pushing through distractions as if they don't exist. Failure to decide often paralyzes those with lukewarm desires, turning clear ideas into vague wishes that never materialize. Napoleon Hill taught that without a burning desire, decisions remain half-hearted, leading to missed opportunities and regrets. Consider Thomas Edison, whose intense desire for innovation drove him to experiment relentlessly, even after thousands of failures. His superhuman persistence wasn't luck. It was the product of desires so strong they overrode doubt and fatigue. Fear and uncertainty thrive when desires are faint, magnifying every risk until it feels insurmountable. You might dream of starting a business, but hesitate due to the unknown, allowing anxiety to hold you back. Yet, with powerful desires, these fears diminish, as athletes do when they channel passion into peak performance. Suddenly, you tap into hidden reserves, making the impossible feel ordinary and achievable. The solution lies in immediate action, fueled by desires that ignite your superhuman capabilities right now. As Hill emphasized, when your desires are vivid, even the smallest step generates momentum, turning hesitation into progress. Think of an inventor who prototypes a flawed idea. That first action evolves into success through sustained effort. Building decisiveness starts with strong desires, making decisions quick and firm, like a superhero committing to a mission. Visualize your goal with emotional intensity, feel the joy of achievement, and watch doubt melt away. Practicing the first step is crucial. Take it immediately, no matter how minor, to simulate that superhuman drive. For instance, if you desire to learn a new skill, research it right now, letting your passion propel you forward. Facing fear head-on is easier when desires are strong, activating a mindset where action feels instinctive and powerful. Hill's examples of self-made millionaires show how unwavering desire turns setbacks into stepping stones. Imagine pitching a business idea despite potential rejection. Your strong desires make the fear less daunting. Each confrontation weakens hesitation, building your superhuman resilience over time. Learning through failure becomes a superpower when desires are intense, transforming defeats into valuable lessons. As Hill taught, failures are feedback, not endpoints, when you're driven by a passion that refuses to quit. Reframe each setback as a guide, helping you adjust and persist with unbreakable determination. Discipline emerges naturally from strong desires, acting as the engine for your superhuman achievements. Without it, motivation wanes, but with intense desires, discipline becomes a daily habit, not a chore. Nurture your desires through consistent practice, turning routine tasks into powerful steps toward success. Building positive habits aligns with your passions. Start with simple rituals, like setting goals each morning. Over time, these habits compound, creating a cycle of progress that feels effortlessly superhuman. Track your daily wins to reinforce this discipline, letting your desires fuel long-term growth. Developing clear vision and goals is essential as they direct your superhuman efforts with precision. When backed by strong desires, goals become magnetic, pulling you through challenges with unyielding focus. Hill stressed definite purposes. Make yours emotionally charged to turn vague ambitions into concrete plans. For example, define a specific goal like launch a business in 6 months, infused with why it matters deeply to you. Break it into actionable steps, creating a desire map that visualizes your path and keeps your fire burning. This process fosters a sense of invincibility, where obstacles seem trivial against your superhuman resolve. Remember, strong desires precede action. They unlock the powers that make success inevitable. As we've explored, weak desires lead to stagnation, but intense ones ignite your hidden strengths. Now, it's time to reaffirm Hill's principle. When your desires are fierce, you possess superhuman abilities to overcome anything. Obstacles that once seemed massive become mere hurdles in the face of your burning passion. Success isn't reserved for the lucky. It's for those who harness their desires to act decisively. To wrap this up, let your desires be the catalyst for change, turning potential into reality. Don't wait for tomorrow. What you conceive and believe, you can achieve, starting right now. I urge you to take one immediate step toward your goal, no matter how small, to awaken that superhuman power within. Commit to a 5-minute daily practice that aligns with your desires, building momentum day by day. Watch as your actions compound, revealing strengths you never knew you had. Harness your desires now and transform your life from ordinary to extraordinary. Remember, the fire starts with a single spark. Let it be today. You've got the power. Ignite it and see the superhuman in you emerge. No more hesitation. Step into your potential and claim the success that's waiting. Start with fire and let your desires lead you to greatness.